Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Um, Welcome to our session. Today we will talk about how to grow fast and how to scale fast with Google Ads. I'm here, Olmas Polisgirchis, CEO and founder of APG Media Agency. We're a performance marketing agency focusing on helping our clients grow and scale, throughout the world. Our agency is a part of All Digital Group, which consists mainly of four companies: eLab, Electronic Lab, the company which creates eShops, Custom Created, one of the largest eShop builders in Baltics, InPartner, that's the company which creates the banners, and the Video Lab, the company which creates video ads for all types of eShops. And of course, us, APG Media, the company which actually, in the end, performs the optimization of the accounts and campaigns for the clients. Our team has grown to approximately 15 people at this point. We're certified digital marketing professionals and SEO specialists with experience of 10 plus years across multiple markets. In my case, the challenge why APG Media as a company was created was to help our clients, scale and grow throughout the whole market. If you can spot on this map Lithuania somewhere, it's on the very top of the map, and or sorry, the globe, and it's super small and super tiny. So this is one of the reasons why in many cases Baltic companies try to expand across multiple markets, and somehow Europe usually is divided into two sections. There's the northern hemisphere, which sort of follows the path of expansion to Netherlands, Germany, Poland, Sweden, Norway, and then of course UK. And then there's the southern part of Europe, which focuses on Balkan markets, on Italy, Spain, Greece, and I think that this might be related probably to cultural things. Why usual expansion of the companies happens either somewhere on the north around the Baltic Sea or in the south around the Mediterranean. But in general, the key objective of most companies is to create a product or to sell the product and enter the market, identify the market which is right for them, which is a fit for them, and then of course explode and grow. So this today's seminar will focus mainly on two sections. Section number one, we will in section number one we'll cover some tools and ideas which you can use to explore the potential of markets. So which markets you should enter, how to identify these markets, what are the easiest technical solutions to do to actually scale and at least identify the opportunities. So this is solution thing number one. And with that in mind, we will proceed, of course, to the part number two, which is already the technical, hands-on examples of what we do with our clients when we want our client accounts to explode, and we want them to make sure that they deliver the results that we promise. So how do we start the expansion? This is the first section. There's amazing tool which is called Google Market Finder, and with that solution, with that tool, you can simply type in your domain name, and if you type in your domain name, Google Market Finder will quickly scan your site, and you will have a possibility to choose your business category. So here you can basically find your business category, and in our case, as we are performance marketing agency, let's say I select internet marketing, search engine marketing, marketing consultant, things that we do, that we do mostly. And once this is selected, what Google does, Google Market Finder proposes relevant markets, for you to actually expand your business. This is something that you get in a matter of seconds. I mean, not days, not months of research, but a matter of seconds. So just type in your domain name, choose the category, and Google will start providing you suggestions where to start expansions. So in my case, Google says, okay, Audimas, if you want to expand with APG Media, um, uh, uh, one of the things that you should focus on is going to United States, because we have approximately 13 million people that monthly do searches about Google search. Uh, you should probably also think of the investment. And the suggestion here is that approximately $3 or euros per click can be spent in that market. That shows that the market is pretty mature. Then out of the ease of doing business, the ease is, it's number 8, so it's not really that complicated to enter the market and do the business. And the household income is also pretty decent, around $46,000 per year. So with that numbers in mind, we can think of the potential of any category that we want to expand, of, like, to simply enter to the market. The same math can be done with France or any other markets. So once we have identified the country that we want to start our expansion, we can get also additional relevant data before entry. And let's say, what is the population size? That in United States, let's say there is approximately 339 million people that are out there. The language, of course, we do know that with the USA, it's mainly it's English. But with other markets, this might be a tough decision, because you might not know. Still, this everything is on paper. All the languages that are spoken in the markets will be provided to you in a matter of seconds. Key economic parameter: what is the GDP? What is GDP per capita? What is the unemployment rate, or even GDP annual growth? All these numbers you can get and account for when you create your marketing plan. Simply by entering them before entering the market, you can know all the potential limitations and everything right away. On top, there's always the question. It doesn't matter how big the market is, but of course it matters. But usually there's also a question if the market is prepared to buy online. And with Google Market Finder, you can get the answers, to that question right away. So in my case, I see that with the United States, approximately 55% of people are ready and prepared to buy online right away. We can see that from the data even in our Google Analytics accounts, that when we check the conversions happening in the United States, it's very much even smartphone penetrated market. So these numbers are there for you to do the research before any entry. And one additional thing which you can also use once you already thought of the entry to the market and decided which market to choose. Now probably one of the usual questions is, so what do I sell, right? I mean, sometimes you already have the market before, the product before entry to the market, but in some cases, you're doing research and thinking like, I want to sell something. I want to have an e-shop. I want to sell in the market where people won't do too many returns, and I want to make sure that it's going to be profitable, right? So that the margins are pretty secure. So with that in mind, if you are here to, or if not here, but if you're thinking of possible ideas to expand your product listing, one of the tools that's very useful and can be used right away is Google Shopping Insights for tips on what to sell. So how do you use Google Shopping Insights? All you need to do is simply go to go to Google, type in Google Shopping Insights, and one of the first results will be from Think of Google, and right there, there's the list of possible trending categories. So we see here that laboratory chemicals or sprinkle controls now are in the breakout section, which means that they just exploded and expanded very fast right now. Um, Also, corsages, they trend 500%. This category trends 500% more than last year. So if you do the math, if you already were in the market last year with that product category, you can be selling up to 5 times more, at least, to that, of the products that you're willing to sell. So all these, and even on the right section, we see that even the keywords are there. So if you want to identify what keywords to use with the Google Shopping Insights, you can see what people search in that category, in that section. So this is right here, free of charge. Basically, all you need to do is go to Think with Google section, and you can start doing your insight analysis. That will take you approximately 10 to 20 minutes, and you will have very valuable data. One more thing, which you probably heard of, is the customer journey. So this is like the thing that many marketers focus on, and I understand why. Like this topic usually covers all sections, where all the touch points, where you interact with your customer, and the awareness section, the interest section, desire section, and action section. All of them are, of course, very relevant. We understand that this so-called low-hanging fruit is, of course, in the action section, but in order to build up everything, let's say this is the case from Think Google, the customer journey example from Lindex success story. They invested major amounts of money in direct display ads and YouTube prospecting, and from that buildup of awareness, they went to the interest phase, where there was programmatic display advertising implemented, then to desire section with the retargeting, remarketing elements, and then of course with the branded search, closing the deal. So all this funnel was implemented. They have had approximate 30 or 40% growth comparison to last year, but this is not the explosion that I want for my clients, because this is just sort of building up and growing 20%, 30%, but this is not actual real scaling of business. It's sort of like doing what is safe but slightly more efficient. So what is the usual problem with the as usual role of media channels? So they focus on this awareness, consideration, and action phases. So I'm not saying that this is a wrong assumption. I believe that with a brand which you want to develop and let's say introduce them to the market, awareness section and stages also is very relevant. It's very important. Without sort of the presumption is that you make sure that people know you. Once they know you, they might consider you, and when they might consider you, they might purchase or buy something from you. So that's okay, but that's not really also something that we suggest our clients. What we suggest our clients in many cases is to change that approach from awareness, consideration, action, and focus on action and then consideration and only then awareness. So how does this work, and how can you do that with Google and Google solutions? The main focus is identifying which campaigns and which media channels, not media channels, but yeah, which campaign types can be used at which stages, and how to not choose or select the wrong campaign type when you decide to start running the campaigns. So usually, if we take a look at Google's world, at the action stage, there's either Google Shopping or the branded keyword. So make sure that either people find the products which they are looking for on your site from Google, coming like from the product listing ads, or if you want to build up the brands, you work on raising your brand awareness, and of course, and then buy your own brand name, sort of securing that people that are looking for your products will actually buy from you and not from the competition. So this action then consideration stage, when you want to make sure that instead of having just when people do research of your products, that they find you, not the competition, or find you and the competition, or in some cases find you in the context of the relevant competition. Because when you are a no-name brand, being identified in the same section as the competition sometimes helps you a lot, because it's a bump up to your brand awareness. And then, of course, the awareness stage, which we tackle by running YouTube ads or display ads. But usually, what we do in most of the cases is, in every single time we run campaigns, we start from making sure that we focus on search and focus on conversions, and everything else is sort of like an outcome or an assisted thing. So we need to make sure that conversions are there, that conversions are tracked, identified, and then of course we move on to the other parts. So how do we start scaling? You've seen that AIDA model, like awareness, interest, desire, action. Something that's slightly different here from all the traditional models we just showed you, that pyramid, is the selection of campaign types from Google, which will address that part in your case. So if you want to focus on action, you should either use sale or leads, depends what you want. Like if you are selling products, choose sales. If you are generating leads, make sure that you connect leads. If you want to focus on desire section, focus on website action and no website traffic or product consideration. Interest, the same. Awareness, brand awareness, and reach. So with that in mind, let's start from the very beginning or very bottom. So the action phase, or this the purchase section. So every single company which has an e-shop and is operating in following markets: United Kingdom, USA, Germany, France, Spain, Russia, Poland, etc., etc., etc. If you have Netherlands, if you have Google Shopping enabled, make sure that you use Google Shopping. This is something that is the most efficient way to target customers. If you want to sell something and in your market there's Google Shopping and you are not on Google Shopping, you will lose a lot. So we start from bottom of the funnel. We start with Google Shopping, and it's sort of like the 2-month period that we implement with our clients. So week number 1 is the one when we say, look, we need to set up everything properly. We need the feed, we need Google Merchant Store account created. Everything needs to work properly. Everything needs to be linked, identified, tracked, tagged, etc., etc. So this is a week where we do most labor, and where you should also do the most labor as well. So week one is for preparation. Then with week two, we take all the feed and make sure that we start spending. And we explain clients from very beginning that week two is not to make money. Week two is to experiment and see where is the potential and where there's no potential. To be honest, usually it's to identify where there's no potential. Um, to explain you slightly more detailed, let's say that you have couple of, let's say you have a market like Germany, right? So you, in Google Ads, you have two ways to target Germany as a country. Way number one is select Germany, and way number two is target every single land of Germany. So North Rhine-Westphalia, Bavaria, Bayern, right? Berlin, etc., etc., etc. So all these regions, which are available in German territory, you can target them and separately. And then what you will end up identify that in some regions the conversion rates or cost per conversion are higher. In some regions, cost per conversion rate are lower. This is a very good insight for you to identify the potential expansion, or at least the first couple of months to start working on. So a geographical check. I can give you a hint up front from our experience. Basically, with almost every single account that we enter German market, there are two regions that outperform the rest of Germany. Region number one is Bavaria, and region number two is North Rhine-Westphalia. So this North Rhine-Westphalen and Bavaria, they outperform the rest of Germany at least like 30 to 50%. I don't know why, but that's just it. That's just it. This is simple math. We know that, like, it's just like with the USA. If you enter US market, I can tell you upfront that most first purchases will happen either on the East Coast or West Coast. So it's either California, other regions like on one coast, or it's like Georgia, New York, Florida, etc. on other coast. So this is just like the geographical check what to target and how to identify the proper fit. Second thing, which is also very important, especially if you have more than one SKU, if you have 10, 20, 50, 200 and more products, then this is a very, very important thing for you to do, is identify the top rated and top selling products. Which products sell, which products don't. This is done on week 2 and week 3. So we identify which products are really bad to sell and which products drive the most conversions. So what we do, we simply stop those products that are not selling on week 2, and keep the products that sell and move them to week 3. So week 3 is sort of to just back the hypothesis. We remove the regions that's or let's say pause the regions that do not perform. We remove the products that do not sell, and we just keep those products and those regions which work. And the aim of week 3 is sort of balancing out, making sure that we make about as much as we sell. So if we spend 700 euros, then keep that 600, make that 600 or 700 euros as well per that week. Then we already aimed for expansion. And here, when we see the products that work and sell in the regions and the geography where it works, we start doubling down on the efficiency. We keep spending more on that section, and then week 5 spend even more, and week 6 spend even more, etc., etc. So but the objective is always to balance out 1 week you spend more with the intention of growth. Second week you spend similar, but you optimize. So that kind of Google Shopping expansion is the first thing that every single case we start with, if these are the products that have physical ability. What is important to know from point A is that sales need data points. So it means that one of the crucial problems that many accounts happen to do is that they just have the purchase or transaction important from Google Analytics, and that's it. And this is a bad thing because you will always have less transactions than people that begin checkout, or you will always have less people or checkouts than add to carts. So what we always do, we add additional data points. We make sure that we have add to carts and that we have checkouts also tracked and important to Google Ads. It's not like we always optimize for that, but this needs to be there just in case. So what are the usual issues with Google Shopping? You can get stuck at around 50 or 100,000 monthly spend with a return on investment or return on ad spend about 4 times or 400%. Usually this is something that we see with our clients as an aim to have this 400% return on investment, which means that if you invest per month 10,000 euros, then from Google Ads, you will make about 40,000 euros, like 4 times as much as you spend. In that case, when you have that obstacle, you need to either reduce your profitability by reducing CPA and just spending more, or you need to grow your SKU list, like having more products in your eShop inventory, which goes back to the research phase that I already introduced at the very beginning of today's sections. So or there's another option, and the easiest way to resolve this issue is Google Display Network. And this is something that probably is unexpected, but Google Display Network really works. It really helps sell you, and it really performs really nice. So how to do that? Thing number one, you need basically dynamic ads, Google Dynamic Display Ads. And with Google Dynamic Display Ads, you have dynamic retargeting and dynamic prospecting. What is even better is that Google also provides audiences which can supercharge your campaigns. This is something that is usually missed out and or is used only for the targeting possibilities. But when we create new accounts and when we create new clients, we always start with the observation phase. So this weeks, 2, 3, 4, it's really good to have the observation audiences added, and basically with the observation add everything that is possible, like not only from your category but add any possible category. Sometimes we even call those ad groups where we add everything, like everything targeted or something like that. So because the idea behind observation audiences is not to target these audiences, but to see which audiences you can then move to targeted campaigns and targeting the cases. So with observations, you can find the perfect audiences for your Google Display Network to expand. What is even cooler is that with Google, you can also supercharge the data with your CRM, the campaigns with your CRM data. So if you have emails, phone numbers, postal addresses of your clients, just add them and use 2 things. Thing number 1 is the custom audience, and thing number 2 is custom similar audience. So it's like Facebook lookalike, but just on Google. So similar audience of that custom audience will bring you also really nice, this top of funnel section. What sometimes people don't know is that you can also target based on mobile device IDs. If you have an app, and if you have those mobile device IDs, which let's say I have a phone, and this phone has a unique ID. I can reinstall the phone as many times as I want. I can remove the cookies or whatever, but my mobile device ID will stay the same up to the point when I change the phone to another phone. So these mobile device IDs can be uploaded, and you can supercharge your data with that as well. What is even cooler is that you can pay for conversions. Here we created a poll asking you if you ever tried paying for conversions on Google Ads, and please be nice and just share with me that insight. So instead of paying for clicks, you can pay for actual conversions. Let's say when something happens that's valuable for you, you pay for just a conversion, not a click, not an impression, not something like that, but just a conversion. Why is this valuable? First of all, because you have Google Display Ads running and generating real conversions, not just impressions and awareness and blah blah stuff, which nobody cares about, at least in performance marketing. But you will have actual purchases and sales. And thing number two, if you want to talk about this blah blah thing like awareness, you will see that CPC will be mega low and CPM will be even crazy low. Like this is the screenshot from our client in UK. I've never really seen options of clicks 7 cents, 10 cents, and lower in that market. And here we have even conversions at around €5 per one. CPM is also crazy low, 20 cents per CPM. That's like if you want to buy just display ads, um, paying for impressions, that's maybe 5 times below the average, and without the added cost and stuff like that. So here's the magic of Google Display Ads. Instead of just instead of just focusing on this, when you already have the purchases and the actions, all you need to start those target CPA campaigns, person buying for purchases, is in last 30 days you need to have at least 100 transactions. So basically that's it, at least 100 transactions on your account per month, and you can start paying Google for just conversions. So after this action stage, we also move to desire, interest, and awareness. But here's the catch: with instead of just going for plain, I want to have a persona and I want to target that persona. This is 50 to 70, person living in a mansion or somewhere else. I follow other approach. I follow the approach of technical possibility to target people that really look or search for the products that I want them to search. And this is an option of which is called Google Custom Intent Audience, when we simply create an audience based on keywords that people searched, and then show them display ads, which really cuts a lot on the cost, because the audience is the same, but the cost per, even if you measure the CPC, is about 5 to 10 times lower, because let's take the market like insurance, where you would at least in Baltics you will probably pay 5 to 10 euros per click, and if you target the same audience with display, you would pay about 10 to 20 cents. That's 10 times 100 times cheaper than targeting the user simply on search. There's also a technical possibility of sort of custom affinity audience, or even a custom intent audience based on the sites that people visited. So Google creates that kind of audience based on the URLs that people went to, and then your ads can be run to these audiences. Why should you do that? Because you also want those micro things, micro conversions happening on your site. So the catch is to optimize the campaigns for the relevant micro conversions, like add to cart, and run these awareness or consideration stage campaigns to make sure that you have as many micro transactions happening, not just measure impressions or clicks. In my case, in my scenario, this is irrelevant. Like, what is relevant is at least an add to cart, then a checkout, and then a purchase. So create these micro transactions, sort of micro conversions, optimize the account and campaigns, those sort of consideration stage campaigns for that, and you will have the same thing that we already talked before. really low cost per conversion and low cost per clicks, and eventually this will help you scale, because the issue with scaling is that it's hard to sometimes to double. But the thing with Google Display Network is that once you get your shopping done and shopping is proper, you have those 100 conversions and more per month, which are needed, for you to create the target CPA campaigns. And then all you need to do is at least start with about, if you're in UK, at least 4K. If you're in USA, at least 9 or 10,000 euros per month. Dedicate that amount and you will see the magic happening. Simply conversions will be piling. Even better is the thing that sometimes is sort of ignored or missed is that if you set conversion, the attribution window to last click, which I know people do not recommend doing, but if you set the conversion attribution to last click and you run the banner ads, you will have a lot of conversions, which will happen not from Google Display Ads. So this means that I can bid about 3 times the normal purchase CPA, and I will have additional uplift in direct traffic and uplift in organic and even branded searches. And this will help my, this bottom funnel section, the action phase. And this will help me, get those free conversions by paying Google only the cut from the conversions which they managed to catch. Because if they didn't catch the conversion, then sorry, I don't pay for that. So this is the idea behind sort of like tricking Google and paying more aggressively, but getting the job done. And another technical possibility is the Google check-in or review ads. So this is something that people probably don't know, is that when you visit a section, which has this plastic surgery or the mall or shopping center or anything like a coffee shop, there's this Google My Business ID or location, and you can target the people that visited these locations. So the catch here is that the targeting is only available on YouTube. That's it. But you can still run the awareness campaigns with YouTube, and at least try, if in UK, with 2K, if in States, at least without 4,000 euros or something more. So how to set up the proper YouTube campaign goal with the goal guidance? Ignore the one with the brand awareness and reach, because you will be limited to target CPM, and you will not be allowed to use the cost per view or target CPA. The ones that I like target CPA and maximize conversions are the ones that I like the most. So also you might consider the product consideration, the one where you actually pay already for the views. That's slightly better. Still not too good. But the best ones are the ones in the website traffic goal guidance section, the one with the maximized conversions, where you optimize, where your YouTube ads are optimized to generate conversions for you. So what we do, we create this sort of awareness campaign, but actually optimize it for the purchase, for the action. So purchase or add to carts. So this is why I emphasize that you should follow the same pattern for the conversions on YouTube as I showed with the display ads, sort of making sure to have as many conversions tracked as possible, and sort of fill everything towards only the relevant conversions, and ignore those just buying methods that are irrelevant. Like CPV is irrelevant, CPM is irrelevant, CPC, to be honest, is also irrelevant. What is relevant is maximizing conversions and having either return on ad spend above the one that you want, or the cost per conversion above the one that you want. So how do you set it up? create one campaign for the purchase with the YouTube for action bidding, and the same logic applies here. Also run a lot of campaigns for the also run the campaign dedicated for the purchase, and also create the campaign dedicated for the add to carts. Why do I have this 3 times normal purchase for, like, for the purchase phase, and only 2 times normal for the add to carts phase? Because there always will be way more add to carts, and you will not really trick Google, on not happening that kind of event. So how does this logic apply in practice? So A, make sure that you have Google Shopping implemented. And the main objective is to generate sales, and that's it. Main KPI, stay in the range of comfortable cost per action or cost per order. Or if you are aiming to return on ad spend, you can also, do that. So ROAS is also a possible way of measuring success of Google Shopping campaigns. Then, of course, Google search, like long tail keywords, dynamic search ads, and remarketing lists for search ads. This is crucial too, to generate sales and stay in the range of comfortable, cost per action or cost per order. Here, I really didn't talk a lot about these parts in my presentation today, because I believe that remarketing list for search ads is a basic thing, and everybody knows that. Just like dynamic search ads. But with the good GDN custom intent or customer affinity audiences, I hope that I shared something valuable for you, because this is sort of like a trick or a hack, which many companies miss out on, because they presume that banners are crap, that they don't work, and that they are, inefficient. The whole presentation that I delivered today shows the opposite. They do work if you choose the relevant and the right buying method. So instead of just buying impressions, make sure that you buy conversions, and then you can scale easier. Once you've done with the custom intent audiences, and have this uplift in organic and direct traffic sales, go to YouTube through View for Action, and make sure that you generate as many add to carts as possible, because to be honest, YouTube is not really good for purchasing, but for add to carts it works well, and then retargeting kicks in with dynamic ads and everything else. So questions: how can is there anything that I can let you know? Let me check. The question from Carolina: hello, is this true that our VAT number has to be in the USA to use Google Shopping ads in US? If not, how is it possible to use it? So Carolina, in order to use Google Shopping, you need to have a Google Shopping account or Google Merchant account, which is located in any available market. So Netherlands work, Denmark works, Germany works, France also works, etc., etc. So any available markets that allows Google Shopping, or that allows Google Merchant Center. If you have an account in any available market, you can trade across any other markets. So you don't need to have a VAT from USA, but you need to have an account present in any available market. So Carolina, I hope I answered your question. And Jordanka, your question was, do you use machine learning in any form of serving your clients? How? Yeah, definitely. So basically, every single time we use lookalike audiences or custom audience or similar audiences, this is machine learning, or even smart display ads, or smart Google Shopping. This is machine learning. With smart shopping, I usually, this is a little bit the where I don't like it a little bit, because it's a black box. You have no ideas how Google optimizes it, but the problem is that it really works, and it works like sometimes even better than an actual person optimizing the campaign. So this is a good thing and a bad thing with machine learning, that sometimes it's a bad black box, but it does work. So any more questions? I see that not. Thanks a lot for attendance. And if you have any questions, just send them to me.